Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at 𝙬𝙧𝙪, which is basically Dark Souls Tarkov. It's kind of blew up in the last couple days. It's still in alpha, so a lot more updates as far as optimization. It can still kick in. We're going to go in here on a kind of a below budget setup to kind of see how it runs. It's a 1650 Super and a 10100i3 Intel Core processor. Running at maximum detail, 1080p, and let's get into it. So going into our first test, we're going to be doing stock versus overclock as well. This is the stock numbers. We're just kind of just walking around here. I'm playing my wizard. And FPS kind of teeters between the 60s to 70s and dips into the 50s, which isn't too bad and still playable, right? You can kill a few dudes, a few skeletons like that. Not too bad. Now, all these areas are going to be very dark. And kind of, there's not a lot of open areas, what I'm trying to say. So it's going to be a lot more heavily GPU utilized. My temps are pretty good. We're at 74C, which isn't too bad. I do have a single fan cooler. This is the stock configuration. Auto fan curve, of course. As you can see, my megahertz is around 1800, 1830, 1850, you know, it's around there. It's not really boosting all that high, only because, well, the temps are pretty high too. Don't worry about my horrible gameplay, it's mainly focusing on the kind of clock speeds. Even the CPU utilization is pretty good, so overall optimization is off to a pretty good start. And this is only the alpha, and it's running pretty good on budget hardware. Not too bad. Okay, so we're switching it up. We're going to the OC test. So I did 75 on the megahertz. My memory, upped it by 750, increased the power limit to 100%, and increased the voltage to 100%. So just basic OCing, you know, nothing too crazy or anything. Oh, so we're seeing a pretty decent uplift. We're in the 80s now. 80s, 90s, kind of peaks in there, not too bad. The lows are pretty good in the 60s, 70s. And it's same quality settings. 1080p, epic settings. The frame cap is not unlimited. It can only go to 400, but we're nowhere near hitting that, so we're fine with that. Of course, excuse the horrible gameplay as my wizard. We're just kind of walking around, trying to find stuff, shooting fireballs at stuff, and yeah. So overall, I would say this is, I mean, even stock, it was playable, and OCing is even more playable. So whoever the devs behind this game, they're doing a really good job on like budget hardware. As far as you know, not everybody has a 3080 or 4080, so the fact that this runs pretty smoothly is pretty good, especially since this game is mainly PvP based. Well, PvP, PvE. So you kind of want unjittered frames, no stuttering, no latency, so you can kill these Dark Souls guys. And that's gonna wrap it up. So 𝙬𝙧𝙪 has, I think, over 75,000 players on Steam, so it is pretty playable on budget hardware. I'm not doing anything crazy. I literally can't overclock my CPU since it's not a K model, and the GPU stock in OC are, you know, marginally better than the other, at least on this hardware anyway. And yeah, I was able to do what I need to do to be a wizard. No stuttering frames. The latency was pretty good. I give it a pass. Check out some 𝙬𝙧𝙪. You can download it on Steam or whatever it is. I'll see you on the next one. Do you have an excessive amount of green stuff that you use to buy games? Well, I have a solution. Check us out on nexus.gg/RNGesus to buy your games, DLC, microtransactions, and I get a small kickback for no charge to you. Support the channel and get a bunch of amazing games. Click the link down below if you want to know more.